Let's talk about some other stuff here today, including something that just happened minutes ago on social media. And if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Eddie Trunk, I did on Twitter get a screen grab of this and repost it minutes ago. But literally a few minutes ago, David Lee Roth responded to Gene Simmons, equating him to seeing the quote-unquote fat Elvis as to why he was not opening for Kiss. If you go to see Kiss, the reason why you are getting a painter, yes, a painter, versus the lead singer from Van Halen. And Gene was vague about it when asked in a Rolling Stone interview. It was a story earlier this week that made the rounds and basically pumped Dave up as a frontman back in his day and then tore him down, saying that right now seeing David Lee Roth is the equivalent essentially of seeing Elvis at the end of his career. And he does not understand what Dave has turned into and all of this. Now, look, you could agree with that if you want about David Lee Roth, if that is your assessment. But as I said, when Gene made that comment, ludicrous. First of all, putting the word fat and David Lee Roth in the same sentence is beyond ludicrous because Roth is in ridiculous shape. But what Gene was basically going for was to just say that Roth is shot and all that. But I mean, it's so hypocritical because there are so many that feel that way about the motions that Kiss are going through with half an original band, allegations of rampant use of tapes and whatever's going on vocally or not. And then the fact that, who wouldn't rather see Kiss in 76 or 77? You'd love to see Van Halen and Roth in 1980, right? Who wouldn't rather see Kiss in 1977? I mean, it's just the hypocrisy of Gene not realizing his own band and looking in the mirror at that. I get they're more popular, whatever, but it was just so out of line. And we talked about it and it was debated online and, got people talking. And look, I love outspoken people and I love people that aren't afraid to say how they really feel. So I have to respect that in some way from Gene, but it's so baseless. There's like such a hypocrisy to it, given what Kiss is now. It's unbelievable. So anyway, we were wondering if Dave was going to fire back about this. And we were all saying, somebody called in the show and said, Dave should just put the Eat 'em and Smile band back together and go kick everyone's ass. Well, Dave didn't do that, but he minutes ago, maybe just this Rolling Stone interview and what Gene said just got on his radar because minutes ago, Dave posted 20 images in a row on Instagram of a picture of a boy flipping the middle finger. And it says, from Roth to Simmons. That's all it says. So make no mistake, Roth has fired back. We now have our latest rock and roll war, folks. Gene Simmons versus David Lee Roth. Just a couple months ago, or whenever they last played, a year ago, this was the band's opening act. This was, Kiss telling you we've got one of the greatest frontmen of all time, the singer of Van Halen, opening for us. Sweetening the pot, sweetening the bill, making it more attractive to ticket buyers. Now they're back to having a painter and shitting on Roth. You couldn't make this stuff up. So Dave has responded in kind via social media, an image of a boy giving the middle finger and just a caption that says Roth to Simmons. Posted it 20 separate times on Instagram in the last few minutes alone, and also has now added it to his Twitter feed. I'd still like to see him do what the caller said, go put that incredible Eat 'em and Smile band together and go out there and kick some ass, but who knows what Dave does and doesn't do. The man is wired completely differently. We all know that by now. But I love that he fired back and just didn't sit there and take it. So good for Dave. And that has now gone to another level as Roth responds to Gene basically equating him to quote unquote fat Elvis. Literally happened minutes, like a minute before I came on the air. I saw it pop up on my feed. All right, so there's that. So do what you will with that. Not a ton of other news going on. In Kiss-related news, though, as their tour continues, and we talked about the fact that would they leave meet and greet money on the table? We all know a band at Kiss's level with their finances, they don't need to do meet and greets. You do it because you want to make even more money, right? We know Kiss loves to make more money. And for all the lecturing that Kiss has done about masks and this and that, they are not leaving the meet and greets on the table because apparently they are doing them in the cone of silence. I joked about this a couple days ago because in the same interview, Gene said the band toyed with the idea of doing meet and greets behind plexiglass. And I joked, if you remember the old TV show Get Smart, that they'll be like talking to them in the cone of silence. And we're like, they're not really going to do that, right? Well, they are. There's a photo online making the rounds of the 4 current members of Kiss standing behind a plexiglass partition. And I guess for whatever you pay for the photo, you stand in front of the partition and get a photo. It's like Kiss in a wax museum, except for they're moving. Like, is there glare? Is there fingerprints on the plexiglass? It's astonishing. And then I saw somebody post something on social media about equating it to in Spinal Tap, the guys coming out of the pods. Because you could have each guy sealed in the pod. If you want an individual shot, you just go up to them. Incredible. You knew they were not going to leave money on the table. And who's paying for a Kiss picture behind plexiglass? And I call my friend Jeff, who does the holograms. They should just put a hologram out there. Put your arm around the hologram. It's like the boy in the plastic bubble. It's amazing. It's amazing. But you know what? Watch other bands go do the same thing. Pandemic be damned. We are not leaving that $1,000 photo on the table. So there's a couple good ones for you today. The cone of silence is happening in the meet and greet. And David Lee Roth has responded. As far as that, that's the Kiss update for you today.